Welcome everybody to episode 10 of the Lure Fishing Podcast, and today we're doing it naked. And I have to look over here to look at Charlie.
Yeah.
Because we're not in the same room. Thank God.
Or county.
What?
Or county. Not even in the same county, let alone room.
I'm in the same country, but not the same county. Yeah.
Countries and county.
Yeah, so we're not completely naked. We just thought we'd start off like this because I think, what did you say?
We're not?
Or maybe we are. I don't know.
Maybe you aren't.
The worrying thing is...
If that counts.
The worrying thing is Charlie's got clients upstairs.
I have, yeah.
So we are looking at colours.
Lure colours. On the note of lure colours, I feel like we should put our clothes back on.
Actually, that's weird. I have to go that way. Because
yeah, it's all backwards. Yeah.
It's all backwards. Yeah, so colours. So we're looking at colours. So don't do that, mate. That's scary. We're back.
Back and fully clothed.
Not naked.
Well, I'm now just clothed from the waist up.
I've got a vision in my head that I really don't want at this moment in time.
Some people pay for it.
I did say we should start an OnlyFans page off. Or did you say OnlyFins?
OnlyFins, yeah. Back on track. Lure colours.
Right, okay. So
I've got this. We haven't spoken about this at all really. This is a very last minute, so
no, don't. We're mega
not
prepared.
even trying to give the illusion that we know what we're doing.
Before we get on to the main theme of the conversation today, we thought we're trying this remote because if we can get the logistics working, it could be quite a good way of getting guests on. Mm-hmm. But Charlie can't be asked to drive to mine as well. That's the real reason.
True story.
No, we've got a bespoke podcast studio that's probably 3/4 of the way being built. So we're trying it out, and it's working to a degree. Yeah, this will be good. At the moment, yeah. So we just do it remote. What's the matter?
Touch wood.
Oh right. I thought you were trying to find some more clothing to put on. I thought someone was coming down the stairs. No. Okay, so that's why we're doing like this for today. So next week, who knows what could happen? We might be together. We might not be. We might, in the same country. Yeah. County. Hopefully fully clothed.
Yeah.
Lure colours. Right. Before we go on to this, mate, I think we have to separate out species.
Yes. Strangely, I've done exactly that.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Because I haven't.
Yeah. So, but go on, you lead away, and then I'll tag in where I feel like I can.
Well, all I was thinking was when we researched this in depth, and we last week obviously we got our heads together and we spent hours doing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, as we have done, obviously.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, lure colours. I have a different mindset depending on what species I'm after.
Yeah, so do I.
So we haven't spoken about this. It's quite good. So pike, I just go natural. Or non-natural colours. I don't really care what the colour is, as long as it's within that category. Yeah. And on the day I work it out. Sometimes I don't even care. I'll just chuck the nearest one I've got with the right nose weight on it.
Yeah.
Or the right rig on it, because depending on what they're doing, they'll have anything. Perch, I find the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
They're just like, in the past, I was on a pod of perch. I was on an area of perch moving through. And what I was doing, I had my going colour. So I caught a fish on that, beginning of the day, literally first cast, took it off, and I had I planned this beforehand, I had a whole range of colours. I think I had 4 or 5 other colours in exactly the same bait. And I was going to have 3 casts of each colour. So I did. I changed colour, had 3 casts, and I think I had all sorts of ranges. I had whites, reds, greens, blacks, the whole thing. And I didn't get another bite. I had a tap on one other colour, a little faint pluck, put the going bait back on, and bugger me, 3 casts later, caught another one. And these are £3 plus perch. These aren't little ones. And
there's definitely something in it with perch. I totally agree. I think there's certain colours. I think there's certain colours that spook perch.
So from that alone, I started going, oh my God, that's melted my mind. So ever since then, I've kind of tried to get the colour right for the perch. Zander, I think it depends on the depth you're targeting them. So
it's like you're in my brain, Andy, because the little selection of stuff I've got here is exactly.
I do not want to be in your brain.
Trust me, I don't want to be in my brain.
So that's just my rough outline. So Xander, I couldn't even tell you because it changes. It might, for me, I think they definitely have colour preference on, particularly when you're going vertical, because I think they've got longer to inspect the bait.
Yeah.
And I think you have to get the nuances right. I think if you're doing other tactics for them, it's not so. It's a bit like pike fishing. But anyway, that's the broad outline that I have. I don't know. You said, I think by the sounds of things, you're exactly the same.
We've gone down a very similar train of thought. I haven't really got any pike stuff here because just I haven't got it to hand. But I totally agree. I actually think with pike, colour is far less important than two other factors that sound the same but they're not: size and profile. So when I say size, I'm generally talking about length. When I say profile, I'm generally talking about depth. So and the width across the lure. I think that is far more important to a pike than it is the colour. I think if you can get roughly in the ballpark with the colour, it has, like you say, either roughly natural or either roughly unnatural, but you're presenting something that they want to eat in the size and the profile. I think that's much more important. I think perch can be a little bit different, and especially when it comes to faster moving baits, like a crankbait. I find there's certain crankbait colours that definitely do spook perch that I've caught other species on, like jack pike will love something brightly coloured on a crank, whether it's the colour they like or not. Doesn't seem to spook them. Chub seem to like light colours on a crank. Perch, I'll grab the first thing here. It's the man's Baby 1 Minus. I know it's one of your favourite chub baits.
I hate it.
You hate it? Yeah. But that colour has caught me loads and loads of chub. And it's, really bright, chartreuse back, red, orange head and white body. It's so visible. And you think, with all the times I've used it fishing for chub, I actually can't think of a single time I've ever caught a perch on it. And I know there's perch in the same sort of areas. And it just doesn't seem to happen. So something about that, whatever that is, perch don't seem to like.
Have you caught, though, many perch on the same bait in a different colour?
I don't really, because that works well for chub for me. I don't really.
I'm just going to show you. I'm going to play with this. But that's it. Put that bait back up again. Look, we've got a close up.
Right.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. So it's very bright and light and it's quite the action of that particular lure is quite exaggerated. Like it's got a big sort of like wide S movement, as well as the side to side, and it's noisy as well. So whether all of those factors could play into it, we're only guessing really. But I think it's like I know it's never caught me any or many perch. So maybe there's something in the colour that I've always accredited it to the colour anyway.
So with that bait, I would say it's the bait is good for chub and pike, but not
Could
perch.
Be. Yeah, but then I've got another one which is not the same colour but similar, which is the Shimano Macbeth, I think, which is a little bit different. It's got a grey back, but it's still got the chartreuse, the white, and the little dot of orange on the front there. So it's similar-ish. And I've never really caught many perch on that either. And a square bill, you'd expect it to be quite a good perch bait. I've never caught that many perch. I've caught lots of chub on it, but never many perch.
You see, I think we've got to be careful we don't go off topic here. We're talking about colours.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. This particular colour,
in my head, that's not a perch bait.
Well, I would argue because I've got other colours this bait which I have caught perch on.
Yeah, I just go. There's different profiles, but again, I'm not saying I'm right.
Yeah,
I'd use that because yeah.
But yeah, so that's my thing. I don't really like these bright, loud white colours for perch. And that goes across the board, even with my soft plastics and things like that. I tend to prefer other colours. I'm not saying bright colours don't work. Like I quite like pink for perch and things like that. But I don't really like that white and chartreuse for perch. Not really my bag.
Okay, let's go. I tell you what. Okay, so I've got no perch or Xander baits with me.
Okay, that's fine. I've got loads, so we can cover between us. We can cover it.
So let's stick with perch first. So can you pick? Have you got a crank there that you love for perch?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's a nice colour. Fish.
I picked it out because I noticed when I was going through a few things, there's a bit of a theme. This is another square bill. This is the Westin something. Bass bite, I think. This is their square bill. Like you've got the baby bites and the buzz bites. This is the bass bite.
Can I just butt in a minute? You know the
Go on.
previous square bill you had in your hand?
Yeah.
It's got a fatter
Do you want to
profile.
Do you want to compare them?
Yeah. So I reckon the one in your left hand
This one?
would have a much more aggressive action than the one in your right hand.
It does.
Yeah, because of the shape of it. And that's
Yep.
why I'm saying the one on your right hand is more for perch, and the one on your left hand would be more effective for chub and
right.
pike. That's
Yeah.
my mindset on it.
Well, I'm going to draw a conclusion at the end of this, which I've already sort of come to, and it sort of explains it a little bit. The thinking. So, anyway, so this is the Western Bass Bite. This is the Shimano Bantam Kozak that I also like for perch. Now, I started going through some of my perch crankbaits, and I noticed they've all got crayfish patterns. I've got these. I've got the gunky. Sorry,
they're duller, aren't they?
They're duller, but it seems that I'm drawn to this crayfish pattern. Whether it's a thing or it's just what I prefer, I don't know. But it's the colouring, definitely that red, brown, black thing tends to be something that I like for perch.
And that's another question. How much of this is to catch the angler?
This is the sort of the conclusion I was going to get to at the end. But at the end of it all, how much we're only guessing when it comes to, and so much of it is confidence based.
Yeah.
You know, how much actually matters. Is it more to do with what you're fishing something more confidently because you believe that it's the right thing to be using?
Well, that's Lake Challenge was a perfect example, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was saying to you, use that shad.
Yeah.
And where we were on that first day, it wasn't working. And the other guys were chucking something very similar. The second day, I was chucking it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I used a slightly different profile, but same size, didn't I? And it worked.
Yeah.
So, but I had utmost confidence in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
there's so much of it in it. I think you could take a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B and sort of come to somewhere in the middle where you go. Yeah, colour has impacts in certain scenarios. Obviously, there's other things that impact it, like water clarity, depth of what you're fishing in, light conditions. There's so many other things that impact the colour. Like one colour is not going to be good all the time everywhere.
No,
you have to sort of balance all these things and sort of put them all together. But obviously, like pike fishing is your forte. So, but you've got a stack of pike baits there, I know. So, is there any there that you? Because some of them are new to you. You haven't seen some. You haven't used some of them, have you yet?
Everything I've got down here is new.
Yeah, brand new.
1 second.
Do it.
Apart from these aren't new, but I thought I'd bring them.
Christ, that's weird. Look, you got your camera's giving the overexposed thing because they're so light.
In fact, one of them's really lost its colour. I'll show you those at the end, though. So a couple of weeks ago, Wolf Creek sent me. Hold on, I can't hold the lures up and edit the thing. I'll do it in a minute. They sent me a whole batch of new factory baits.
Yeah,
and it got me really thinking because in the past I got really anal about colours, and there's certain colours that I knew were just brilliant. And then I started thinking, does it matter? I don't know. So last 2 years, I've just started experimenting with loads of different colours and not really worrying about it. And actually, the shallower I fish, the less I worry. If that makes sense. The more the bait is above the pike's head, I just know I want something of a solid colour.
Yep. Yeah.
So
it's just the next point is that silhouette. I think is really important.
Yeah. So something like that.
That's really nice.
It's all one colour mainly.
Yeah. Yeah. Really like that. That's cool.
Yeah. So I should know the colour.
Motor oily, UV motor oily type thing, isn't it?
That will change colour in the water as well.
Yeah, of course. It
will, I can't show you, but you can see a little bit. It's kind of like, it's motor oil, but it will have like UV in it. So I need to throw that one to see what it is. But then you go to the other, look at this.
Yeah. Do you think there's something in colour and size of fish? And there's a reason I'm sort of leading you into this a little bit, but do you think that you would prefer different colours for a big fish over numbers of fish?
No. Also, can I tell you the weird thing, right? This is something else I've learnt with particularly Wolf Creek baits, because they and the Swedes in particular, they're masters at colours, because this colour won't be this colour in the water.
No.
It changes. They all change. So I don't know if I've got one with me. No, I've got a green. Anders did some green looking ones. I mean, to look at, they look like dog shit, right? But you put them in the water and you go, oh my God. And I knew this before because they do a little 7 and 11 centimetre perch shad. And when I was over there last year with Jimmy, he was saying we're using chatterbait, so we were dressing them with the shads.
Yeah.
And I said, what colour should I use? He said, use that one. I went, it looks like dog shit. And he said, put it on. And I pulled it through the water, and it's like, like a little injured fish is all washed out.
Yeah.
They look like those. It changed colour. And I'm just thinking, oh my goodness. So the problem with this is that I'm holding up these baits. I mean, look at this one, for example. This is a good example. Let me just get on there. So, sort of a charry brown chow, but its belly is this iridescent, and it will look completely different in the water. It's got this pearly iridescent, and it's making my screen go really weird.
Yeah, it's like overexposing, isn't it? So
overexposed it, but that's because of the reflection you're getting. It's iridescent, and because you've got this different coloured tail, and here the fins, the contrast underneath.
Yeah,
it's going to be absolutely amazing. So that's the other thing. When we're talking about colours of lures, it's not just what the colour of the lure is, but what contrasting colours does the lure have on it as well. So as to size, that if in doubt, I chuck something this big because everything has it. And people go, oh, it's too big. No, it's not. Hammy Zander, mate, have you seen me catch on these? Yeah, it's just bizarre, isn't it, how they go for it. I mean, look at that char.
It's very cool. I like that. That's brook trout.
Yeah, brook trout. These are, again, all factory baits.
Yeah.
None of these are the handmade ones. The hand-poured ones.
You swerved the question last time I asked it, but how many of those are mine?
None. No, I'm sure I can sort it out, because I've got loads. So I've got the little ones as well.
Yeah, they're
20 centimetre ones. I mean, look, they're just... I'm not doing this as a sales plug at all. No. But Anders is like the... he's Mr. OCD. They took years to get the right factory in China to get the colours done. So I know they had two factories. They had the second choice, which they got in first, and they had the colours done. They didn't like them, so they had a few made. But then when they got into the first choice factory, they had all the samples in, and I saw the samples. So these are from the first choice factory, and it's just. I mean, that's what I call a natural one. That's why I've held that one up, because in my head that's the natural.
Yeah, it's very close to that Westin headlight, isn't it?
Whereas that one is
the opposite.
The opposite. So and also,
I love that.
But why would that work?
Who cares? I wouldn't even care. It's just cool looking at it in my box.
It's the same colour as the peacock bass. Yeah. So why would that work? But again, is that to catch the angler?
Of course. And I'm fully for it. I'm totally for it. But fill my box up with them. It's
going to work because of this underneath.
Like, take my card. Like,
it's going to work. Yeah. So you asked me a question about size of fish, didn't you?
Yeah.
So
So there's a reason I asked that. I whenever in my brain I think, right, I'm wanting to go. If I'm going with the intention of catching jacks, I feel like I want to use something bright, because I feel like they're very reactive. Like you want to instigate like an aggression take. So something like this. This is a small bait, but I'm more talking about the colour, like a chartreuse. So this is the Kitech Swing Impact Fat. But that sort of brightly coloured chartreusey colour, I always find jacks seem to love it. They just want to gobble it. Whereas I can't remember really catching. I've got loads of big pike, but any bigger pike on those super bright colours. I wonder if the bigger ones become slightly more wary, a bit more selective, whereas the smaller ones just charge around eating whatever they can, because it's more important for them to get bigger and grow quickly and get themselves up the food chain a little bit.
I know the answer to this.
Go on.
It's irrelevant of what you're just talking about, because it's the action of the lure that triggers the jacks rather than the colour.
Yeah, probably.
So let's say I'm using that one.
Yeah.
Or that one.
Yeah.
It won't make any difference, because it's the action of the lure. If I want to catch a jack, I'll put something on that's faster moving. Maybe like a a chatterbait, crankbait. I won't use it. If I want to get jacks, shads are all right, but you've got to fish them a bit quicker because in my head, and I'm not saying I'm right, but I think I am with this one, jacks are like teenagers.
Yeah.
Right. And I know we shouldn't relate fish to people because we're not the same. But
Yeah.
I think jacks are fast growing and they've got to grow quick or they're going to get eaten.
Yeah,
So
totally agree.
So they're very active. So they're looking for food far more than the bigger fish. And because they're less experienced, hence the teenager bit, they're more likely to take something out of curiosity and getting fired up because they've got to grow. So the more they eat, the bigger they get, the safer they're going to be. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's why I think bigger pike. You have to have. Sometimes you can catch them with fast moving baits, but you've got to have more of a. You have a bigger range of. Your arsenal's got to have a bigger range in order to catch them because you've got to work it. And also, if I'm catching big fish on these baits, I've got to get the presentation. If I get it spot on, they'll have it. If I get it slightly wrong, no chance because they're not daft. They're what 10, 12, 14 years old.
Yeah,
they've seen a lot, haven't they? They know. Not to say baits, but they've caught a lot of fish.
Yeah,
they know what they want in the environment they live. They know exactly what and how to catch it.
They've been selective to get to the point where they are.
They're going to expend the minimum amount of energy for the maximum amount of outcome.
Yeah,
a jack hasn't learnt that yet.
No,
and jacks could be male or female. So these big fish are females. They've learned the jacks could be male or female. And I think also it could even matter whether they're male or female. I would imagine the male fish are more aggressive because of testosterone. Well, the fish are have an equivalent, won't they?
Okay. Yeah.
And because the jacks won't get so big as the females, they're more at risk all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I think actually, if you're targeting jacks, you want to get a reaction. So me and Tommaso are talking about using something quick in May, and then use a jerkbait over the top.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. You're trying to get that trigger from the fish initially. So I think colour is totally irrelevant. It's the action of the lure first, and then you can play with the colour. So you're talking about those little shads. Well, are you triggering fish in the winter? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or are you triggering?
I sort of want to round off on that, so I'm not going to touch on it too much. But that particular bait, the one I've already spoken about, the Kitex Wing Impact Fat, I'll hold it up for the camera.
Oh, well done. They've trained you well.
Yeah. It is my all-time favourite lure ever. But I do think it's more to do with the action, and it's the profile again. So you get that really wide, for the size of the bait, it's got quite a wide body, and then you've got that really, really, really thin tail wrist. So you can fish it really slowly and still get action out of it because there's no meat in the tail. So you can fish it really slow. So it's a versatile bait. But I'll get onto that. But I've got it in loads of different colours, and I've got that chartreuse is one of my favourites.
Well, I think you've answered the question there, mate. You probably use that above all else.
Of course, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, therefore,
I've just dropped it. Hold on.
Well, let's go to this then. So this would be an interesting experiment to do next time we're fishing together. If we're fishing for pike, you use that, and I'll use one of these.
Yeah.
Because I've never used these.
That's mental bright, isn't it?
These are slimy as hell.
Are they?
That one was the same colour as this one. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's
weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've kept them in the same packaging because obviously if I put them with anything else, they're just going to destroy them.
Yeah, yeah.
These are Eastfield lures, mate. Hand poured. Because you can't see it, but there's a V on top.
Yeah.
So these are hand poured ones, and I bought these 4 or 5 years ago. So Eastfield and Wolf Creek. Anders knows the old Eastfield guy really well. They do a lot of collabing, or they did do. Yeah. I'm sure he sold it now to another company. So their lures, Eastfield lures, are now not the same shape as these. They're different.
Right.
But the rubber is so sensitive that you catch a pike on this, they're destroyed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't last more than 1 or 2 fish. But in the water, they work really well. But they're Eastfield baits. But so that'd be an interesting experiment if we both use the same colour but different size.
Yeah. I've got a few other bits here. We'll just quickly circle back a little bit to Xander, and you talk about vertical fishing, things like that. I get more time to look at it. I've got a couple of my favourite-ish Xander things, but for different scenarios. So you don't. I know you've not done much of it, but I've done quite a lot of like small zander fishing on canals and things like that. They're sort of like whatever the zander equivalent to wasping is. I've done quite a bit of that, and when it's really, really, really tough, and they're not really on, I like this really sort of like narrow profile. So like that, which is the Kitech Easy Shiner, really, really famous bait. But that profile, there's loads of different lures in the same sort of profile like that. And that natural one is what my go-to will be if the water clarity is quite clear, which obviously isn't very often on canals, but it does go like that, especially sometimes in the winter if the boat traffic's low and things like that, you get these clear canals. So that's my sort of...
I'm going to throw a spanner in the works here.
Oh, go on.
No,
you always like to throw a spanner in the
hold
works.
it up.
Go on.
Right, time of day.
Yeah.
Clear water.
Yeah.
Would you use that in the half light or in the dark?
I've used it all the way through the day and caught on it, but it's probably...
My question was it? It's got, like I've been experimenting doing nighttime lure fishing.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
And colour of lure becomes really important.
Yeah. I'm going to marginally disagree. I do agree, but I'm going to word differently. Go back to what I said earlier. I think it's silhouette of lure.
Yeah, basically.
So
yeah.
I might as well come on to it now because everyone knows anyway. But this actually is my favourite lure of all time in my favourite colour, black. And if someone said to me you can only fish with one lure for the rest of your life in one colour, what would it be? It would be that. I would fish with a Kitech swinging impact fat in 2.8 inch in black. The amount of fish I've caught on that lure is unbelievable.
What time of year?
All year, all times of the day, at night, in bright sunlight, and something about that is it's probably just the fact is you don't get any more solid than that. Black is a solid colour. It's very easy to see. I don't think it's just like anything you've got to be wary of. And I've actually tested this. So I had a day on the Oxford Canal last couple of years ago. And I was using this, I was catching loads of fish, as I always usually do, or was at the time before they ruined it and electrofished it to buggery. But I was catching loads of fish on this. I thought, so what's pointless? I'm not learning anything by carrying on using this. So I put this on, caught nothing. I put this on, caught nothing. Literally first cast back with that, started catching fish again. So that is just colour. It's got to be because they're the same lure, the same time of day, the same canal, same fish, same spot. They did not want anything apart from the black. And I tried other lures in black.
What species?
Zander and perch.
Yeah. Both. Yeah. I definitely think perch, undoubtedly. Zander, I think probably. Pike, I think you just categorise them in the two. But yeah. I'm not. But
yeah, that particular. I mean, I was sold on it already. That particular in black, but that particular day, it just couldn't go wrong. I think I had 50 zander that day, which that was a particularly good canal at that time, and you could go and catch a lot of fish. But 50 in a day was a lot of fish, and they just wanted black. They didn't want anything else, and they just wanted black in that lure because I tried other black lures that didn't work.
Yeah. This is really weird, mate. I'm trying to look at the camera, so you think I'm looking at you.
You're trying to side-eye me.
So I need this one to go.
Yeah. You need to sort of boss-eye yourself. But then, slightly contradicting myself here, when I was saying about the Easy Shiner, that profile, I like that in clear water. There's another bait that I like in not clear water, which is the same profile but a different brand. This is the Quantum Bass Shads. This is a tiny one I like for...
Right, pink.
Yeah, bright pink.
I'm going to be
white
really unpolitically correct here, right?
Go on.
So, when I first started fly fishing for Zander a long time ago, I was just using EP fibres that I just got. And sometimes I had some really naff colours. And then I bought some pink EP fibres and I didn't really like the colour, but I tied them up and called it the Gay Boy. It was superb.
Yeah.
For Zander.
What's it about pink like? I don't know.
So
is pink just pink? Because this is the thing. If you actually look at pink in the water, it looks very similar.
Is that politically correct? Am I not allowed to say that anymore?
Very not politically correct.
Oh, well, I've said it. It's called the Gay Boy, and that's how it's known amongst the guys that used it. That was the nickname for the fly. So if anybody's going to put a complaint into YouTube, my answer would be go for it. Because I really don't care. It's the way it is. Mate, I can't live in this new world. I think
Too old for it,
my brain doesn't compute it. It's like, does it matter? Oh, so yeah.
No.
If anyone's offended, my answer to that would be tough shit. Anyway, let's crack on.
But my point about the pink,
We've just been banned as well. My YouTube channel's been closed down now, probably as well.
Yeah, the demonetisation as it.
Yeah.
But the pink, I think, looks like you said about earlier, like an injured fish where it starts to wash out. I think that's where that pink and white. That's where it looks like you get that sort of, along the backs, they lose their colour and go a little bit tint of red to the scales. And I think that's what it looks like, a dying fish. I think that's why pink works well. And I've got loads of perch on pink as well, but especially the TRDs, pink TRDs.
Do you know what my overriding thought process about all this is? Is that
it doesn't really matter much.
we can't tell what colours fish see.
Because we've got human eyes and they've got fish eyes. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So I think a lot of it is kind of like, we're trying to make the fish human. So when I gave my analogy of them being teenagers, it's a bit of a dangerous one to do because you can't. But that's the only way I can in my head think about it, and that's what, again, I'm going to be unpolitically correct, but I don't care. So in the fens, we've had 20 years of a fish being taken for the pot. So I'm afraid this is the reality, but we had people from different countries coming over with different cultures, and they take fish for the pot. The fish they catch first are the 2 to 6, 8 pound range of jacks. I'm talking about pike here, because obviously they are feeding, they're more aggressive. They're the teenagers in my head. Yeah. They're very aggressive with lures. So what's happened around here, we have got nothing left because that range of pike was slowly taken out by rod and line over a 20-year period, let alone the deadlines and the netting problems that we've had. So the pike fishing around here is awful. So what happened initially is we had some big pike come through. Normally you would struggle to catch a fish over 25 pounds from the fen drains. So 30 started popping up, which were unheard of, but you weren't catching any backup fish because they had been taken. They weren't coming through. And now what's happened is the big fish obviously died, and there's very, very few fish left because they have been taken. And if anyone disagrees with me, you're wrong. I've got all the proof you'd ever need in your life. I've got it on video, the whole caboodle. And what's happened now is the biomass has changed in the rivers. So particularly like Ash Costa's way, the perch fishing is phenomenal because obviously around that area, Boston and Spalding, whatever, they got decimated as well with the pike stocks, and the perch have come through. Around here, it's weird. It's a bit different. I think the zander populations were critical. I think that's to do with the mitten crab. That's another story, but mitten crab move. The water gets warmer just as the zander eggs are in nests, and the mitten crab go on the march back out to sea, and they find these nests and destroy the eggs because obviously it's protein for them. But the zander fishing's got a bit better. It's not like it was, but it's slightly better. The pike stocks are just it's disgusting, really. There's hardly anything left in a lot of these drains. But the rudd fishing is unbelievable, and it has been for a few years. And the perch aren't as big as you go into Lincolnshire, but there's so many perch. Yeah. And obviously that shift in the predator-prey balance and the biomass changing has changed the makeup. But the reason I mentioned that was it proves that jacks are very easy to catch on faster moving small baits, particularly in the summer and autumn months, because they're aggressive, and I think the colour is irrelevant. But I went off on one a bit there, but that's the reality of the situation. That's what happened, and that's the only... I can give an example of a long period of time of how, you can tell that these fish have been caught because they no longer exist. You talk about the old course, the Nene, where I live. For years, the match anglers were devastated. Well, not devastated. The match anglers were getting harassed by jacks in all the matches 20 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. And then suddenly, about 10 years ago, they never, ever had any jack problems because basically everything had gone. Even the fish that were coming over the winter had gone because they got to run the gauntlet. So out here, they never, ever get any hassles with jacks. And it's interesting, the last 2 years, they've had the odd jack take fish as they're pulling them in. Whereas you go to other little drains where it's a bit more protected, they get jack hassle all the time. So you can build up a picture by talking to all the match anglers as well. So very interesting. You can build up a picture of what's happened by talking to other types of angler.
Yeah. I know this is a bit backwards because we spoke about it earlier. We sort of keep zeroing round again, but we was talking about verticals and debates earlier. So I just grabbed two very quick ones that happen to be in my bag. I haven't got my full Zandy kit here, so these are the two. Or it's the same bait but two different colours that I like for verticals and fishing. This one, they're both the Man's Q-Fish 16, I think, or 18. Q-Fish 13. So they're just a flat-backed V-tail thing, but both similar in a way. So they're both lightly coloured. So that's the white one, chartreuse one. But they've both got that orange tail. Now, do I think the orange tail really makes a difference, or is it more the action of the lures? But I know a lot of bass anglers in the US swear by dipping. So they'll dip the tails of their baits in like a chartreuse coloured dip or a dye. I don't know how much difference that actually makes, if I'm deadly honest.
If you're dipping, mate, it doesn't matter, does it?
Say again?
So I've just been daft. I was using the term dipping.
But yeah, I think it's more the profile. But again, I prefer lighter coloured things for my verticals and the fishing. I don't know if that's something people generally do.
But what depth are you fishing those baits in?
20 odd, 30 foot, I guess.
So obviously people fish down to 70 foot. Because that's a good idea, because that's not going to kill them.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but as being less educated when I was fishing a few years ago and not really knowing what the impact of what I was doing, I did do it. I have been known to do it. I wouldn't choose to do it now.
It definitely kills them.
Yeah,
I think the percentage of fish that go back is very. And they go, I saw them go back on the live scope. Yeah. So what happened when they got to the bottom? It's the act of pulling them up. It doesn't matter whether you do it slowly or quickly. It's the pressure change. You've only got to do your paddy diving course to understand how it affects the human body, and we're bigger. Imagine how it affects a small fish. Bloody hell! But anyway, the reason
their eyes popped out and things like that. But anyway,
it's their internal organs, mate. They get crushed. It doesn't matter how quick or slow you pull them up, and some people are going to argue the toss because they're selfish and want to keep doing it. That's the only reason. They're trying to justify it to themselves in their head. This is good, mate, because what's going to happen off this podcast? One, the channel's going to get demonetized.
Yeah.
And two, there's going to be a lot of bitching going on, but I don't care. So, the reason I asked the depth was because, again, going back to the scuba diving I did, you've only got to go down a few meters and the colours change. With vertical fishing...
Most things are grey, I think, after a certain depth, aren't they?
Well, but again, to a fish's eye, we don't know the answer, do we? So it's an interesting one. And obviously, I know from doing the vertical fishing that I've done, and before people go, hey, you bloody hypocrite, I kind of stop at about 10 metres. Yeah. Which is about 33 foot, 35 foot. And the reason I do that is because that's what the Swedes tell me. And the Swedes, exactly, they know far more than we do. And there'll be some self-professed experts in this country, you know nothing because you've been doing it 1 or 2 years, but they've been doing it for a long, long time. And they tell me about 10 metres is the cut-off. So, and also, if you go scuba diving, you get below 10 metres, the colour changes in the water. Get down to 15 metres, it definitely does. So again, not being fish, we don't know how this has an effect. But I think there's definitely particularly if you're vertical, the bait's moving slowly or not at all, these fish just come have a look and go down. They don't want it, they know. And I think the colour becomes really, really important. But I don't know.
So I think in conclusion, what we've drawn into this is do whatever the bloody hell you like. Use whatever colours you're confident in because we don't know if it matters or not. So we've spoken for 40 minutes or something and got zero conclusion on that. So
which is great. This is what the podcast is about, isn't it? Can I mention one thing, mate, before we go? I filmed the Ladies National at Rookery's Water at the weekend. So this is commercial carp. I know it's not lure fishing, but if anyone's interested in that, video will go out at the same time as this on Friday. And, mate, these lady anglers are phenomenal. The winning weight was 123 kilos. Second was 112. Third was 108 and change. Fourth and fifth was 108 kilos and change. And I had a lovely day because a friend of mine, Abby, who's been on the other podcasts I do, messaged me on the Thursday night and said, Andy, can you come down and film on Saturday? And I thought, oh, crap, she did mention this to me ages ago and she'd forgotten and I'd forgotten. So I met her there Saturday morning and said, how are we going to do it? She went, I don't know. So I said, don't worry, I'll make it as I go along. And all the ladies who I asked to film, straight away, yep, no problem. I had external mic sticking it on them. They were just really fun to be around. Whereas when I've done it with a lot of the male anglers, they're so bloody grumpy.
Yeah, sticking the muds.
Yeah. So for me, from that perspective, from behind the camera, it was brilliant fun. And I really enjoyed doing the edit as well, because you could see the fun on their faces.
Yeah.
I think that's what, as you get to higher levels of competition fishing in angling, particularly match anglers, they're grumpy bastards. They really are. We need to get back to the enjoyment part, don't we?
Yeah, agreed. Totally.
And Tom Hunt did a match report of Lake Challenge. I don't know if you read it.
I did read it, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And I know we're emotionally attached to his report, because obviously it was all about the competition. But he put it in such a way that it was so enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think that's what brought it back to me on Saturday with these ladies. It was just brilliant fun. And the winner, Kaylee Dowd, she's now gone through to the Fishermania final. So she's got the chance of the 50 grand payout as well. So I really hope she beats all the blokes. I do, because these ladies are as good as the top men.
Yeah.
Because it's skill. It's not to do with, I don't know, if you're playing cricket or rugby, you've got the difference in the genders, haven't you? Obviously. Yeah. So, yeah, it was really, I just wanted to mention that, because if people are watching this, just have a flick on that. There'll be thousands of views on the other one. There's about 3 people watch this. So if we can get 3 more people.
You need to cross-promote the other way. Get the guys watching the match videos to come watch the lure fishing podcast.
They're not interested. If it's lad, if it's not maggot or pellet down the margin, we're not bothered. But no, it was really good fun. Yeah, so mate, we were going to do 20 minutes. We've now done about 42 minutes already, because we do talk utter crap, but it's good.
It's true.
Is there anything else you want to mention?
No, just the usuals, like you made me big. Send us bits so we can talk about them, because we're very obviously running out of things to talk about, because we've spoken for 40 minutes and made no conclusions. So send us any lures, any bits and pieces, or suggest some things you want us to talk about. If you've got any ideas for future episodes, then leave a comment below, or drop me or Andy a message, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah,
this is quite important, because it's really nice. So you get people like Dave Moyer, Steve Melson, he knows you, doesn't he? He does the area trout fishing. Abby's dad asked for Paul
Pickley.
Yeah, people like that. They're always getting in touch. And there's one or two other guys, sorry, I keep forgetting everyone's about the stickers and things. Brilliant. So I've sent off a few stickers this week if anybody else wants stickers. But the stickers are just a little part of trying to get the whole community involved, aren't they? So that's what we did those, as a bit of a laugh. And what we're going to do, I'm talking out of turn here, because me and Charlie spoke about this probably about a month ago. We'll probably end the weekly podcasts as we get to September, but we're going to still continue, aren't we?
Yeah, so rather than make it a weekly thing, I think we're talking about perhaps doing a once a month episode. I think that's what we decided on in the end. Just to keep you sticking over, because I do feel like it's if you disappear for 6 months, people forget about you a little bit. So we're going to just try and keep it ticking over. And the reality of it is, through the winter is when most people do most of their lure fishing. So it'd be nice to be in touch with that, and we could do maybe little roundups of that's when most of the competitions will be happening and things like that. There'll be some big fish, I'm sure, caught over the winter by people all over the country. So we can maybe do some little roundups of what's happened that month, and share some info back to you guys if you maybe missed it.
Yeah, exactly. So that was before I said, Charlie, do you know what? We're a bit daft ending sort of end of August, because that's when people are starting to lure fish as we're finishing. Yeah. So we'll keep it going over, and we might not even just do one a month. We might just try and do at least one a month. So we're not too rigid.
Extras.
Yeah, not too rigid. Right, mate, shall we bring it to a conclusion?
Let's round it off. I've got to go to District Sports and watch my daughter do some running.
Are you in their father's race?
Oh, absolutely not.
Or is it now called something else, because we live in this new age? Is it now called...
No, so Sports Day was last week, which we went to. And my daughter managed to convince my wife to do the parents' race. So she did it, which got me out of it.
So is it now... it's the parents' race. So being the old... people don't know, I was a school teacher for 26 years and I was trained in PE. So this drives me absolutely bloody insane when they get participant certificates.
Yeah.
No, what's wrong with winning?
No, our kids' sports day, there was a winning team.
Oh, good.
They get a non-school uniform day, and none of the other kids do. So
do they? Cool.
Yeah. But they had a parents' race, so they had like any parents that volunteered. So they separated the mums and the dads into two different categories, and the mums ran then the dads ran.
Sounds like your school's got some common sense, because a lot of them, they just seem
Old
to have
school village, you know, it's a small village in middle of nowhere.
they've gone so liberal, it's unbelievable.
It's old school values, but yeah.
Which is the way to go. I'm going to change the world, mate, through the Lure Fishing podcast. Go back to how we were in like the 80s, because there was.
You can start watching it because you ain't changing no world with 112 people watching it.
And we could start off this revolution.
Revolution from within.
Let's go back to how it was. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, we got to stop. Otherwise, I'm going to go on another rant. Right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's see everybody next week.
Thanks for watching, guys.